What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Take a Peek episode where this week we are taking a peek at Star Realms. This game was recently released back in 2014, I believe, and as always, the link is down in the description if you want to go check it out. This is a deck builder type of game. Received great reviews, especially from Total Biscuit. And what this game does really well is it blends the trading card game combat with the deck building that you would get from like a tabletop deck building game. Search that on Amazon. The first one you come across is DC United. That's your standard deck builder. Star Realms is a deck builder like that, like DC United, but it also plays like a trading card game, kind of like Magic or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! But it is different. It's very unique in what I've seen so far. Right now it's for sale in the Humble Bundle. I do recommend picking it up. It's going for another 2 weeks, I believe. So do pick it up. It's a lot of fun. And there are some aspects that I'm not a huge fan of, and so let's go and get into that right now. The how to play system for Star Realms is 4 tutorials. You get a card gallery and a rule book. Now this means there's a lot of reading that you have to do. The rule book is online on a web browser, but the card gallery you can see just right in here, and it goes through literally every single one. But if you want to find a specific one, you have to go through every other card if you want to see a very specific thing. And that, I feel, is very frustrating. It's very annoying and a little bit of bad design right there. But that being said, this is, as far as I know, done by an independent developer, and I think it was done very well. So, basic cards in this game that you really have to care about. You have your Scouts and your Vipers, which is what you start with. And then you have the Explorers. These are the cards that always exist. There's tons of them. And you can pay the cost. So 2 up here is the cost, 2 trade. To go ahead and buy this and add it into your deck. Now, of course, when you play this, it will give back 2 trade. And you can remove it from the game completely, and it will give you 2 combat. And I'll get into combat a little bit later. You can see the Scout gives 1 trade, and the Viper gives 1 combat. Then various, from anywhere from Blob Fighter, which these are, all the green ones are blob cards, versus the Federation cards, which are blue, the Machine Cult, which are red, and the Star Empire, which are yellow. A mixture of all of these cards will show up every turn that you can spend trade on to go ahead and buy one of these cards. Again, you have to have enough trade to pay for the cost that is denoted in the top right of each of these. 3, 4, all the way up to 8. There are different types of cards in the game, but let's go ahead and jump into a game so I can show you real time what this game is about. So let's go versus AI. And let's just do a medium AI. Pretty straightforward. This is a general overlay of the game. It's pretty easy to understand. You have over here, this half is your half, and then of course this half is the opponent's half, and then right here in the center is the trading area. Now you can see there are 5 cards out here that are colored. You have Blob, Star Empire, and then 3 mechs. And then, like I said, you always have the Explorer as an option to buy over here on the side. Over here is 50. So this is your authority. This green thing right here is your authority. You start with 50 authority, and it is effectively your health. Once that hits 0, you're out. So let's go ahead and play all of our Scouts. Gives us 3 trade, because each of them supply 1. And then it's highlighted what we can buy. We can buy a supply bot. We can buy an Imperial Frigate. or we can buy a blob wheel. Now the blob wheel is a base. It's a star base. Star bases are recognized by the little shield down here. And that is how much damage, how much combat it takes to destroy the base. Now these things just stay on the board until they're destroyed. If they're destroyed, they just go right back into your discard pile, right back into your deck, and you can play them again later. These are absolutely huge if you want to build a very specific type of deck, because each race, each color of card comes with specific bonuses. So if we look at the Imperial Frigates, you can see the Imperial Frigate brings 4 combat, and it forces your opponent to discard a card. But if there's another Star Empire card that you have played this turn, you get the little ally bonus down here, which is additional to combat. Whereas if we look at the supply bot, if you play another machine cult, you get 2 combat as well. Let's go ahead and pick up the little supply bot. So we'll just drag that over to our discard, uses all of our trade, and then we see a Federation shuttle come out onto the board. The Federation shuttle, Federation ships are very specific. They often come with a little bit of health bonuses every single time, a little bit either coming from an ally bonus or just a flat bonus every time you play the card. Federation ships are very powerful for staying healthy and getting you trade. However, if you want raw power, you want to go with the blobs. If you want card drawing ability, go with the Star Federation. And if you want kind of a general blend of scrapping your stuff while bringing in some good power, you want to go with the Machine Cult. Now, I'll get into scrapping a little bit later once we get a little bit deeper into this match. So you can see the AI is playing down 3, 4, 5 trade, picking up the Federation Shuttle and the Patrol Mech. So we will have 4 trade and 1 combat this turn, so let's go ahead and play all. And what I want to buy this turn is actually the Battle Station. It's a Machine Cult base. Now, this is an outpost, which is a different variation of the base. An outpost must be destroyed before you can attack their main health, which means an outpost is effectively a shield. Now, these are typically either really, really strong or really, really weak, depending on the individual card. The Battle Station in and of itself is not actually that strong. It doesn't confer any bonuses per turn. It's just a 5 health outpost. A nice little shield. So let's go ahead and add that to our repertoire. And now you can see we have 1 trade left over. We can't use that. But we have 1 combat, which means we can directly attack them, take out 1 authority down to 49 authority, and next turn we'll see what they do. Maybe we can attack them again. Discard everything, shuffle the deck, and then draw from our new discards. And we see we already have our base right here in our hand. So it looks like the AI is going for Blob. Sorry about the weird cut there, guys. Had a little bit of an audio problem. So last turn, we saw that they went for Blob. The AI is primarily going for Blob here, picking up a Blob base, and that we picked up our Battle Station right away. So let's go ahead and plop our Battle Station down. You can see it immediately does absolutely nothing. But it does give us that 5 health shield, which means they have to have at least 5 combat before they can do any damage to us. So let's pick up another Battle Station. That's beautiful. And then do 1 more straight damage right to them. So we have our Battle Station. It'll stay on there. We have another Battle Station sitting in our discard that we can use. So go ahead and pop out our supply bot. Now, this is what the supply bot allows us to do. You see it brings 2 trade and allows you to scrap from your hand or from your discard if you wish to. Scrapping completely removes something from the game. Some cards are going to give you extra things for scrapping them. Others are going to be completely worthless. But let's go ahead and scrap our Viper. Let's go ahead and remove our Viper completely. We don't want the Viper anymore. So the Viper, out of our deck, out of the game, can't be used anymore. Scrap bot, or supply bot came in, gave us 2 trade and 2 combat from the ally bonus because we already have a machine Colt card out there in the form of a base. Go ahead and play the rest. We'll have 3 combat, so just do some direct damage, and then we'll have 5 trade, which we can use to pick up. How about a missile bot? And a trade pod would be good. That'll give us a lot more of this trade when we get the opportunity to play it. And then we'll go ahead and end our turn. Draw the last 2 cards, shuffle the deck, and draw 3 more. 5 scouts next turn. Should be useful. They had 8 trade. Wow. And then they picked up probably the most powerful outpost in the game. I'll show it to you when it comes out. Let's go ahead and play all 5 scouts. No reds out there, but we can definitely pick up a blob destroyer, which is just raw power. Tons of damage. Great for taking out bases. Awesome. We have another battle station. We can use that. They popped out a Federation, but they didn't get the Federation bonus, so their authority didn't increase. Let's do boom. 2 battle stations, which means we have effectively a 10 health shield right now. We can also use our supply bot again to go ahead and scrap a scout. And then a Viper, and we can only have 2 right here. Plus the actual 2 from the supply bot gives us 4 total trade. So, go for another outpost. Get that other shield going, and then do 3 straight damage. Now, this is basically how the entire game will go. The more you play, the more this happens. Now, what they had right there was a missile mech. It can just auto-destroy a base. You can see they also have 13 combat. So both of my bases are destroyed. I take 8 direct damage. Unfortunate because we had the missile bot, but we can still make do by scrapping. Yep, okay, so we can go ahead and scrap the Viper. Go. So this mech world, probably the most powerful base in the entire game. It counts as an ally for all factions, which is absolutely insane. You get that out there, and you can have, you can play your trade escort, trade pod, imperial frigate, and supply bot, and get every single ally bonus. You can draw the card, get an additional 6 combat, just because you have that one base out there. The mech world is absolutely insane. I would argue it's almost overpowered for its price. For a price of 5, I say it should be worth 7 or 8, realistically. But that being said, the only way I can honestly say the card's overpowered is because it's a card you want to grab every single time, no matter what you're going for. That's the only reason why I say that card is overpowered. It's out of balance. Everything else, relatively equally powerful. A Federation, gives you a lot of health, but it doesn't do that much damage. Whereas the blobs do a ton of damage. They don't give you any health, and they barely give you any trade. And the Imperial Frigates is all about card draws, which is huge. You get tons and tons of cards as a Star Empire. Sorry, not the Imperial Frigates, the Star Empire. So, overall, the general balance of the game is pretty good, pretty straightforward. I have yet to try... just concede, whatever. Leave game, there we go. I have yet to try the online arena yet, but I can say that it looks like it would be pretty interesting. But you can see there's nobody playing online, so that is a little unfortunate. But I imagine it would actually be pretty entertaining considering this is a deck building game and it's designed to go ahead and play online against other people. That being said, there is a campaign you can play through. And it's an interesting little campaign. I do recommend checking it out. But Generally speaking, all you're really going to get out of Star Realms is the versus AI or the pass and play. Pass and play is your local co-op, effectively. You have player 1, player 2, and then 2 people can play, and you can really just kind of have fun playing with your friends locally if you can't get them to play online. So it's one of the few modern games that really does come with pass and play with local co-op, and I gotta say that's for me, that is a huge selling point, that you don't have to play online. That is absolutely huge for me, and I think it adds a whole nother layer to this game that makes it just that much better. The AI is challenging but fair, and the hard AI can really give you a nice, good challenge. I do recommend starting it easy, then play to medium, then play to hard. As far as this game is concerned, it's a lot easier coming in if you understand what a deck builder already is. You kind of have some expectations because the tutorials really are not super great. Which is why I recommend starting on easy, because this is kind of a different type of game. It is a deck builder, but it also plays like a trading card game. You do want at least a practice match before you really dive in to the hard difficulty here. And maybe even go through the campaign first. I mean, honestly, this game does have a lot to offer. So, one last thing before we go in the settings. It's pretty straightforward. You have a graphics quality, lots of presets. If you have a pretty bad computer, you can do fastest, boom, done. Or you can go all the way to fantastic, and you can see there is a difference in the polish of the game. You can disable the star field rotation so you don't have to actually see a lot of the animations. You can switch to full screen if you want. However, keeping it in windowed mode and running it at whatever resolution you have that it offers actually works really well. It is almost full screen. The border is almost non-existent. So they did really well with keeping the resolution really solid. It offers a plethora of resolutions as well as should. All you really get is toggle music on or off and sound on or off, but if you go in to change your manual sound settings for the game in the system directly, is really the only way you can choose how loud the game is going to be ultimately. And that is a little disappointing, that a modern game does not come with the sound and music controls. But that being said, it's very user-friendly. The UI is simple, easy to understand, and the same goes for the entire settings. It's very, very straightforward. Not a lot of buttons to push. Definitely made for people who are not game savvy or tech savvy. The settings are very easy to understand and welcoming. So, overall, I give this game 7 out of 10. It is missing, a deeper campaign, and with the online capabilities basically shot, I mean, you kind of miss out on a third of the game right there. But you really can't hold that against the developers. It's more of the community around the game. So I'm not actually counting that against the game. It's just do be warned that if you want to play online, this isn't going to have much of an online capability. But it gets that additional bonus for having local co-op, the pass and play. It's really great and very unique gameplay. It's a very unique experience, and I highly recommend picking it up. So, like I said, 7 out of 10. It's solid, it's bug-free, and it's a lot of fun and a great way to introduce people into the deck builder genre for a really cheap price, especially if you pick it up on the Humble Bundle. So that's going to be it for this Take a Peek episode, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time with another Take a Peek. DFTBA.